Shane Gillis literally just got done hosting the ESPYS, and I think it's safe to say this is the best ESPYS that we have ever seen, at least for the last decade and a half. So we're going to play a couple clips, we're going to have a little bit of fun, and we are going to celebrate the end of cancel culture because it's dead now. It's just quite literally dead now. So here's one clip, and this is of Shane talking about Trump in his monologue, and I'm not going to ruin it, so I'm just going to play it for you. Here we go.
Donald Trump wants to stage a UFC fight on the White House lawn. The last time he staged a fight in D.C., Mike Pence almost died. All right. You don't have to do that. It was fine. I didn't write it. Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted. Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
And I've only seen 2 of these clips, to be fair. So all the ones I'm showing you, I haven't seen it all yet. But that was really funny. So he's talking about Trump, and he's saying how Trump's going to have that UFC fight on the White House lawn. That Epstein joke was hilarious. That was very brilliant. But here's the next one. So the caption says that this one's him talking about Shedeur Sanders and Caitlin Clark. So let's watch this one.
Shedeur Sanders had his jersey number retired at Colorado this year, and people are saying it's because of nepotism, because of his father, and it's not. It's because he went 13-12 over his career, and he almost won the Alamo Bowl.
That one wasn't that funny.
Nepotism, right? All right. It's a big year for the WNBA. I love Caitlin Clark. Yeah, hell yeah. Caitlin Clark, she and I have a lot in common. We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes. All right, there you go. Lighten up a little. This is not serious. We'll see about this one. When Caitlin Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist fighting black women.
That was brilliant. If you thought that cancel culture was still alive, like some people on the left will tell you, they're lying to you because it's absolutely dead. This one is about, it says this one is about Disney. Let's see what this is.
And bookie. A bookie is what Bill Belichick's pitcher, hitter, and bookie. A bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime. They do. They read The Very Horny Caterpillar, The Little Engine That Could But Needed a Pill First, and of course, the classic Goodnight Boobs. That was my favorite one. Also, I'm not trashing Bill Belichick. First off, he's 73 years old and he's dating a hot 24-year-old, and people are criticizing him? What happened to this country? We used to be a great country. He won 6 Super Bowls. Yeah, he's dating a hot 24-year-old. Maybe if you guys won 6 Super Bowls, you wouldn't be sitting next to a fat, ugly dog wife. They let me do it. I don't. This is Disney. They allowed that. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story. I was at we should have taken that out. I had doubts going into that. That didn't work all week.
We have a couple more. I think we have 1 or 2 more. We have 2 more. This clip, it says it's about Joe Rogan and Adam Silver. So let's see what this one is.
Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. What are you booed up there, dude? Shut up.
And then we do have one more. It says, oh, this one's about Deshaun Watson. We're going to play this for you, too. Here we go.
I didn't write this. Put your hands where my eyes can see is what they say when Deshaun Watson gets a massage. I disagree as well. I swear to God, I didn't want to tell it.
Wow. So that was awesome. That was quite literally the best monologue I've seen at an award show for a long time. And in seeing the one or two videos I saw before this episode and seeing that now, we've talked about Shane Gillis a lot on this podcast, and he's the new king of comedy without a doubt, right? It's pretty much known in all circles that he's like the new GOAT of comedy at the moment. But it just goes to show you how wokeism is basically dead. I mean, it's really dead. 5 years ago during COVID, you would not be able to have any of those jokes up there. It's just quite literally not possible at a liberal company, not even a liberal company, but a company that has, over the past decade, a real intolerance for free speech. And so you see what Shane's doing. You see that monologue. I mean, you imagine how much money they made off of the viewership of the ESPYs, specifically because Shane Gillis was attached, and he was the guy who was doing all the hosting. So hopefully now you see these companies have a different approach, and I personally think, once again, that cancel culture, wokeism, all that shit for the most part is completely dead. You did have Ricky Gervais, actually, I believe it was back in 2019, he did the Golden Globes, if I'm correct. And he did have that whole monologue where he basically made fun of all the celebrities. And I feel like it was like 12 minutes or so, and he just like punch for punch for punch, joke for joke. He was hilarious. Just roasting all these people to their faces. So in a way, you probably would have been able to do that, but actually during COVID, it was so much different though. So I don't know. But anyway, this right here, dude, perfect example of why wokeism is just dead. All the cancel culture shit is dead. You're going to have to be able to be a little bit uncomfortable with the joke. Just a little bit uncomfortable. And I mean, this was hilarious. This is great for the comedy. This is great for discourse. This is great for media. Everybody gets to tone it down a little bit. Just tone it down. You don't have to be offended over everything all the time. I literally just played a 4-minute compilation of Shane Gillis. If you haven't got through that, well, then I don't know what to tell you. It's funny. It's jokes. We can be a little bit more lighthearted. We don't have to be so serious all the time. Perfect example. And listen, Shane's a political guy, kind of, a right-wing guy, but his commentary isn't right-wing. It's not overtly political. This is something that at the end of the day is pushing culture forward, pushing the country forward in a way that we can all laugh together. And that's the best part of this whole thing. So yeah, man, I mean, this thing is going to go down in history as one of the better ESPYs, definitely. I haven't seen anything other than the monologues, the jokes. I don't know who won anything. It doesn't really matter to me. You watch these things to see the monologue, to see the jokes, to see the comedians and the comedy. You want to be entertained. And I think there's a couple of skits that I can't play on here. They are copyrighted. But overall, man, this is great for the world. This is great for the country. Hopefully we're all able to laugh at this and move forward. But this was great, man. I was really, really entertained by all of this, especially that one joke about Caitlin Clark. That was hilarious. Just saying the quiet part out loud, man, it was great. Big fan of this. Big fan. And so to transition, it's like I said, it's an action-packed show. We have a great show. We're going to talk about Nick Fuentes again, specifically the fallout with Candace Owens. Now, we did cover his interview with Candace and how he did kind of own her. And it kind of brought out Candace's true colors, too, a little bit. She was really aggressive when questioning him. We were all told it was going to be a friendly interview. At least that's what she told Nick. And it wasn't true. She was questioning him for the better part of 2 hours. And I got to be honest with you, man. I really don't like her anymore. She was a good commentator in the past, don't get me wrong, but she kind of showed her true colors. And after all of her anti-Israel rhetoric over the past year and a half, for some reason that must have got to her, because now she's essentially questioning Nick on behalf of Israel, saying, quote, "Why are you so anti-Semitic?" And anyway, so he basically went off on her on his show last night and really took it to her, exposing how she lied to him and all this stuff. So here's Nick.
And above all else, put some respect on my name. And I hit the nail on my head at the end. I kind of went off. And I said, look, I was 17. What's your excuse? You know, you got married later than me. You got red-pilled later than me. You became a truth teller later than me, and you haven't gone through a fraction of what I've gone through. And she wants...
On the part of her getting married older than Nick, that is true. She did question Nick Fuentes, specifically for not being married at the age of 26, not having a relationship, not dating anybody. Yet when she was 26, she was also single. She was not dating anybody. She did not have kids. She was not married. So it's a little bit of an unfair critique, no? Continuing on.
Wants to call me out? That's what she texted me. She goes, I'm calling you out. And my response to that is, bitch, you have no right to call me out. And maybe it's time for you as a woman to sit down and shut the fuck up. That's me, a man. You want to say, make me a sandwich? Okay, this is me, a man, telling you, a woman, to sit down and shut the fuck up.
This is crazy. Very unhinged. I mean, but rightfully so, a lot of people would argue, myself included. She set him up. This was a setup. We were told this was going to be a friendly interview. We were going to be told they were going to talk about Trump. They were going to talk about the Iran war, and none of that happened. It was like a gossip interview. It was like a gotcha interview. We didn't want that. She made people pay $2 for this, or $1 for this, whatever it was. Nobody wanted that. I wanted to be able to see these two people, these two political media figures unite and kind of bridge the gap and form an alliance potentially, because they're both strong political commentators, people that have big audiences. Candace especially, but Nick is ascending. And so you would have thought that they would have been able to bury whatever hatchet they had, but no, it's like now they're mortal enemies all of a sudden. So this is crazy.
Up before you call out anybody else. Sit down and shut the fuck up, bitch. I'm so sick of it. She's got her book, Make Me a Sandwich. That's the book cover. Her book cover is her sitting cross-legged. I'm going to sit... Her book is her sitting cross-legged, make him a sandwich. Okay. You want that, huh? All right. Well, hey, listen, Daddy's home. Hey, a real man is home. I'm pulling up my sleeves. You want to call me out? Sit down and...
I can understand why some people don't like this man, but I happen to think that this crash out is really, really entertaining. We're halfway through this. We might not get through the whole thing. Hopefully, the platform that we're on doesn't take the video down, but I completely understand why people don't like him.
Shut the fuck up, bitch! That's what a man has to say. And make me a sandwich and make it good. Turkey and provolone. Can you handle that?
It's a good combination.
But I did eat last night. Turkey and provolone. That's how I feel. And honestly, that's how I feel about it. Yeah. Make him a sandwich. And then she's going to give me, she texted me on Friday, I'm calling you out. I've had enough of you calling me out. You cannot call me out. 1, you are a woman. 2, you have not gone through a fraction of what I have gone through.
True.
You know nothing. I have been on this since 2017, since I was 18 years old. You want to call me out? And that's, honestly, that's the epitome of it all.
This is all true, man. I mean, when you, and this is what Nick explained in his interview with Candace, which was not what we thought it was going to be, but she asked him, you know, how'd you get to the place that you are? Give me your backstory. And he gives her a good 20 to 25 minute backstory of his ascension into being the political commentator that he is now, banned from everything, having all of these ideas, questioning Israel, and then getting kicked out of all these potential opportunities with Turning Point USA, Fox News, and essentially getting blackballed from the whole political media industry. And instead of having compassion for him, she goes on the offensive and, in turn, pissed him off.
Before you call out anybody, how about a shred of humility? Facts. How about an ounce of self-awareness? Why don't you observe the fact that while you had a contract at Daily Wire, Turning Point USA, InfoWars, book deals, and by the way, because you're a black woman, because you are a semi-articulate black woman, you're like Obama. She don't talk with that Negro dialect. She was a black woman who did the conservative grift, and she rode that tokenism doing fucking Blexit.
He makes a good point because it does kind of feel like it's a conservative grift with Candace Owens. That interview kind of proved and showed her true colors. She wasn't necessarily standing up for conservatism. She's more having that interview to boost her own self-image. At least that's what it felt like. She was having it to boost her own self-image. And I gotta believe she lost a lot of fans here. We'll finish this up and then we'll wrap that up.
For 10 years, making millions of dollars, and then married into a wealthy family, and then discovered there's something going on with Israel after only everybody started to notice. Now you want to call me out, the OG? Well, that was your first mistake.
It's true. It's all true. Nick correctly points out that Candace Owens did have a contract with the Daily Wire where she did take millions and millions of dollars. She's been able to make a lot of money and have a lucrative political commentating career, specifically because she was able to get in at these large companies. And you gotta respect Nick because he has not taken any advertisement money ever. That's never been part of his thing, specifically because it can corrupt his freedom of speech and it will prohibit what he's allowed to say. Obviously, I mean, he said this. I mean, you have to really respect somebody like that they're not going to let corporations decide what they say. They're truthfully themselves, authentically themselves. You could say what you want about Kyle Kalinske. He has the same business model, same exact business model, specifically because of the same thing. And it just feels really disingenuous. I mean, I can continue to go off on this point, and I won't do it for a longer amount of time. But he owned her, man. He torched her. There's no other way to describe it. This interview really changed things. Changed a lot of people's opinions on Candace Owens. I'm not really a fan anymore. And I mean, if you look at Nick has said the same thing pretty much since he's had the show America First, all the way back since like 2018, 2017. He's changed his opinions a little bit, like little details, but for the majority of the time, it's been the same consistent message. People like Candace Owens are grifters, in my opinion. Mostly a conservative grift. You see them, I mean, she had these very strong opinions on Israel a year ago, and it seems like she's backed off, and now she's blaming Frankists. What? Frankism? Okay. All right, that seems to be her new thing. And she's also been covering the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni story a lot, mostly covering like female celebrity gossip. And it's like, you're a political commentator. You have lots more important information to talk about, like World War III, which could pop off at any second. And it's been like that for the past 3.5 years, and yet I don't hear you talking about that a lot. Lately, you've been talking about, let's think, the French president. You have accused the French president, his wife, of being a man and also being his dad. So I don't really care about Emmanuel Macron. I don't really care about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. I don't care about gossip. We don't care about gossip. We would like to hear the truth from an honest political commentator, somebody that's not trying to make money. That's all. I think that was a good point. I think I made a really good point there. He went off, man. He's the GOAT. The most trusted, in my opinion, the political commentator, at least on the right, that I trust the most. What are you going to do? Certainly not going to follow Candace Owens anymore because she's done. It's done. Her whole credibility has been ruined with this one particular interview, which she would not even post to YouTube. Whatever. But speaking of Candace Owens, her old boss was recently in Family Guy. That's right. Ben Shapiro was recently on an episode of Family Guy where they mocked him. We're going to play the clip. Hopefully we don't get copyrighted, but if we do, well, then you probably won't even see this. But here is that clip of Ben Shapiro on Family Guy.
Hey, look, did you see this? Your book, Faster Than the Speed of Love, is back on the shelves.
Really? Nice.
With a new foreword by Ann Coulter.
Less nice.
And a very foreword by Lauren Boebert.
When I'm not rubbing my hand over a tinted khaki, I'm curled up with a copy of Brian Griffin's excellent book. And does anyone know how Beetlejuice the musical ends? Oh, my book is being co-opted by the right. It's gross.
And it's selling. It's #2 on the neo-Nazi bestseller list, behind Ben Shapiro's Tyranny, How the Radical Left Made Me Bad at Sex.
Oh, God. It's that kid and his dog again. Never as good as The Simpsons, not nearly as smart as South Park. I wonder how Seth still writes this from inside the closet.
Hey, look, did you see this?
We're going to play this one more time.
At sex.
Oh, God. It's that kid and his dog again. Never as good as The Simpsons, not nearly as smart as South Park. I wonder how Seth still writes this from inside the closet.
Ben posted that. He goes, happy to hear I was on Family Guy last night, but bummed the entire scene didn't make the cut. So watch to the end of the clip. By the way, my new book, Lions and Scavengers, is coming out 9/2, and you'll be #3. Dumb dog. So he's taking it with a sense of humor. That's good. What are people in the comments saying? I find it fascinating how Seth MacFarlane makes one of the funniest shows with plenty of humor, where many of it essentially would be deemed anti-woke and even anti-left, yet he's such a huge leftist and Biden fan. I mean, this is true. And I'm not somebody that agrees with Ben Shapiro anymore. I used to be a huge fan, but then October 7th happened and he completely abandoned everything that was America first and specifically became an Israeli propaganda machine. However, I think it is, just like that commenter, I think it is fascinating how Seth MacFarlane is hilarious and he's able to make fun at lots of people, yet he still carries water for the Democratic Party. I do think that is a little bit odd. Something else a commenter said, is the voice Ben's voice, or did they imitate? Really well done. Another comment, nobody wants to read your shitty book. I mean, this is true. Somebody else talks about Seth MacFarlane. They said, Seth's 2008 approach of digging at the right from an established DNC lens has been nauseating. The McCain-Palin pin on the Nazi uniform was when the show fell off, in this guy's opinion. Makes zero sense. An establishment/pro-free trade Republican, and he calls him a Nazi. No fan of John McCain, but the comparison just didn't make any sense. And I mean, Seth MacFarlane is just another mainstream Democrat. We know this. He'll go on Bill Maher and he'll be on the left of Bill Maher, which it's really easy to be on the left of Bill Maher. Like, he's basically a neocon now. Basically. But even then, you still see Seth being to Bill Maher's left when he's talking about different things, different topics, different issues, he's like pushing back from the left. And so, I mean, this was really funny. Like I said, I'm really not a fan of Ben Shapiro anymore. I don't really respect him that much. He's an Israeli propaganda machine, or at least he's part of the Israeli propaganda machine. But yeah, this was funny. And the voice was like spot on. So there's that. Somebody says they don't think that Seth is writing these anymore. They look hella like delegation to the subordinates. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I thought it was funny, so oh well. We have a couple more topics here, and then we're going to be done. Maybe a little bit of a shorter episode, depending on how far we go. But 2 more topics guaranteed, potentially 1 more we shall see. But Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, we've been hearing divorce rumors about them for, I'd like to say, the better part of the past 2 years. There was even a rumor of Barack secretly dating Jennifer Aniston, which is a little bit weird to me. It's felt a little bit random. I mean, we covered it because it was a slow news cycle. But after a long time of them not being seen with each other. I mean, even at Trump's inauguration, Obama was there and Michelle was not. Many people were asking why. Nobody knows. There's been this divorce speculation, and Michelle recently started a podcast with her brother that isn't doing good at all. But Obama recently addressed all of this, and he addressed the divorce rumors, and he promised that everything's going great. And he did this on Michelle's Failing podcast. So we're going to play this for you. I'm very excited. I was very excited to talk about this topic because it is quite interesting when you have this power couple. They were this political power couple, and essentially, like, they're not together anymore. It's very interesting. Let's see what this video is.
IMO, look at you.
They're hugging. That's a step. Although it looks like they're friends who haven't seen each other in a long time, which may be true. I mean, this may be the first time they've seen each other in months.
Wait, you guys like each other?
Oh yeah, really? Huh?
That's so
The
nice.
rumor mill. It's my husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Did you hear what he said? If you hear Obama, he goes, "She took me back."
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room
I
together.
know.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
Let me tell you. First of all, see, I'm in Wichita, Kansas, for Austin's tournament, and you know, this podcast has made me quite popular.
You're a big shot.
Famous.
And people come up to me all the time. This woman came up to me and she was so nice. She's like, "Can I have a picture?" Yeah. And then, so you know how you.
I'm still struggling to remember his name from when I just read it in the tweet. I don't think you're popular, sir. I'm not sure, but I just don't really know who you are. Like I said, I can't remember your first name. And I literally just read it. Take that with a grain of salt, I guess.
get the side hug, and she's like, "What did he do?"
And you knew she was gonna say what he did.
He. And I
You
was
knew
like,
it wasn't like what happened to him.
That is so
It was like,
terrible.
how'd he mess up?
how'd he mess up? And I said, well, what makes you think he messed up? Why couldn't it
Well,
been
why
her?
did you just say no one messed up?
Well, because I wanted to keep this conversation going so that I could tell you about it.
Oh Lord.
I was like, what? And she's like, he did something, didn't he? I was like, don't worry, everything's fine. And she, let me tell you, she was so happy, you would have thought I gave her a Christmas gift.
These are the kinds of things that I just miss, right? So I don't even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then somebody will mention it to me, and I'm all like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had...
I just find that a little bit hard to believe. A little bit hard to believe. You've seen the viral videos. You've seen everything where they're not together for like these really, really important events. But Michelle says there's not one point in my marriage where I thought about quitting my man. I don't know. This is the first time they've been videoed together in a long time. And Barack, God bless him, he's lying. He's lying through his teeth when he's saying, oh yeah, you know, I'm not really connected. I'm not really tapped in. So this was the first time I heard about this bullshit. You're tapped in. You're tweeting a lot on holidays when mass shootings happen as if you're still the president, which you're not. And you definitely had your ear to the ground here. You knew people were talking about this. And God bless Michelle's brother, once again, can't remember his name, but he says how the woman that asked him, did he do something? She was so happy to hear that they were back together. Think about how much people's lives suck, right? And I'm covering this specifically because it might get views, and it's interesting to you guys. But think about how much people's lives suck to the point where an ex-president, an ex-first lady, potentially having a rough time in their marriage, potentially splitting up is like the biggest thing to them. And you saw Michelle's brother, who once again, I can't remember his name, but allegedly he's famous now. And you saw Michelle's brother saying how, oh, and the lady just lit up. She was so happy. I guarantee she's on food stamps. I guarantee her family hates her. I guarantee she's the type of person that says, oh, I like dogs more than people. I guarantee like things aren't going well for her is basically what I'm saying. Was the food stamps comment a little bit harsh? Yes. Do I take it back? But it just, obviously they were having problems. We can all say that they were having problems with a bit of confidence. I mean, when we look at Trump's inauguration, all of the ex-presidents and all the politicians were with their husbands or wives. And if they weren't, the significant other was dead. This is how it was. But for some reason, Barack came in solo dolo with all the trumpets and all the clapping and all that. Let's continue the clip.
Some really hard times, so we had to have had a lot of fun.
Also, a hot take. Michelle's looking kind of good. She's looking kind of good, objectively. Her face is looking chiseled. She's got a nice ponytail thing going on, kind of ponytail, hair back. She's got a nice shirt. She's looking kind of good. Maybe she's gearing up for a presidential run. She probably would win, but kind of good. As an aside, let's continue.
Times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay, don't make me cry.
And then Obama says the same thing. Barack says the same thing. I have become a better man because of the man I'm married to.
Now, right at the beginning of the show.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Don't let me start tearing up now.
And welcome to IMO.
Welcome to IMO. Get you all teared up. See, but this is why I can't talk. See, you can take the hard stuff, but when I start talking about the sweet stuff, you're like, stop, no, I can't do it.
No, I love it. I'm enjoying it.
But
Barack can't talk about the sweet stuff with his wife, yet he killed a handful of American citizens with drone strikes. Not a big deal, not anything to say maybe he's a psychopath, Let's continue. Let's finish out the clip. We're almost there.
thank you, honey, for being on our show. Thanks for making the time. We got, as
you guys
Craig
are doing
said, we
good.
got a great
So you've been listening.
Of course I've been listening.
Yeah, what, any
Love it.
tips, any observations?
Craig can tighten up a little bit. You're doing great.
Thanks, honey.
Hey,
and that's why we're married for...
So, did that not feel like the most superficial exchange? You know what I mean? That didn't feel like it was very real. That didn't feel like an exchange from two normal people. Granted, these are not two normal people. These are two of the most high-profile celebrities in the history of politics and in politics today. The spotlight on Barack and Michelle the spotlights are massive. These two men have been known and become beloved in America and in American politics. So there's no wonder that there would be a little bit of tension, a little bit of butting of heads, penis heads, of course, from time to time, because Michelle might quite literally be a man. So there's that. Obviously, that was sarcasm, but I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? Are they actually separated? Or are they together? Why does it look so fake? Let me know in the comments. We have one more topic and then I'm done. It's late. We're just doing this to try to get monetized here. Okay. the last topic of the day. The Breakfast Club. So the Breakfast Club recently had a streamer. His name is Neon. And they recently had Neon on their radio show. And this interview that they had got a lot of backlash, specifically because they were attacking Neon. And Neon's probably in his late teens, early 20s. He's a Gen Z streamer. And what the Breakfast Club did was really disrespectful, in my opinion, and the opinion of a lot of people on the internet. You see, what they did is they viciously attacked him based off of his past. Now, I don't know about you, but these Gen Z streamers are very young. And our generation is a little bit different than the millennial, Gen X, baby boomer generations. You see, we don't get offended easily. And we grew up on the internet. And on the internet, especially early on, but now so with Elon Musk buying X, or Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, X is very, how should I say it, not politically correct. And so we are not politically correct. That whole thing, the millennials being very politically correct and the feelings being hurt, is not something that Gen Z has. And so Neon is a product of Gen Z. And so in his past, especially when he started out, he started saying very out-of-the-box things. Very offensive things to some in the older generations, slurs, stuff like that, to offend multiple groups of people. And so the people on the Breakfast Club, this was essentially an interrogation for them. And a lot of people on the internet, once again, pointed this out, and they didn't like it. And it showed the immaturity of everybody on the Breakfast Club, especially Jess Hilarious. Not really a fan of her. But, I mean, these people are all, like, in their late 30s, early 40s, and they're essentially being really, really rude to, number one, somebody that came on their show as a guest, number two, a kid. So we're going to play a couple clips for you, and this is all of the hosts on the Breakfast Club trying to press Neon, but he stood his ground. So listen to this.
It just never happened. And then Sneeko, another streamer, he was going to Spain to do the stream. New projects. Yeah.
Oh, so now you just pissed off all the Jewish community?
Oh, my God. No, I love Jewish people. Shalom.
You just came on here to just shit on everybody.
Nah. I
mean, wow.
Well, I got so many Jewish friends. What?
Oh my God.
Nah, you trying to get me caught up, brother?
Black
Hey, brother is crazy. Why you put the A at the end?
Brother is hilarious.
That was crazy.
What's the craziest situation?
You can't say that.
I seen you in Harlem with Jim Jones. What's the craziest situation? Dubai, what was the craziest situation you've been in that you didn't think you was going to make it out besides?
I've been in a lot of situations. There's a Nate Diaz thing, same thing, trolling. And I
saw that. He chased you.
He chased me. I'm not gonna lie and say I had a tough upbringing or anything. My parents.
Oh, yeah, we know that. We know.
Oh,
we can tell.
Okay.
Are your parents racist?
Huh?
Are your parents racist?
No.
I'm just trying to figure out where using Harriet Tubman as a slur and the things you said on that video. I'm just wondering what was your perception?
So wait, real quick. So you guys do understand so first off, trolling's not okay, right? But there a lot of people have back then, even if it's as a joke, it's not good to do. But streamer world, YouTube world, whatever it is, people make jokes like that. But back then, before,
Only about one race of people.
No, you got to see my no, ma'am, you got to see my clips. My clips.
Some examples.
So no, I'm not gonna repeat it. But I'm not gonna repeat it. But there's no singling out. There's none of that. I was just insanely toxic. I made jokes about Indians, everyone, any race you can imagine. It's not singling out one.
You're Indian, so you can do that.
Yeah, but it's why. Well, I shouldn't do it in general. But I'm just.
So what they did was they pressed him about essentially being anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic. They said he was calling out Jewish people, which wasn't true. And then when he said brother to Charlemagne, they said, well, what you shouldn't say brother. And it's why do you have to be so offended over jokes? Charlemagne the God, which is only his title, because I don't think he's a god, but he even himself hosted The Daily Show, which is a comedy news show. You would think that these people, they're on one of the biggest radio shows in the country, if not the world. You would think that because it's tailored to more of a comedy base, you would think that they wouldn't get offended as much, but it doesn't seem like that's the case, especially Jess Hilarious, who is also an actual stand-up comedian, who seemed to be getting offended over everything. So there was that, okay? They tried to press him, but he stood his ground, okay? And then I have another clip over here. So for this clip in particular, it's another one similar to that. It's from his perspective to a stream from that. Oh no, this is the Breakfast Club one. So in this clip, they're trying to press him for being immature, okay? And they're saying he hasn't changed from his past, from when he just started to stream, and he was saying crazy shit, which who doesn't say crazy shit? It's the internet. But he's trying to tell him, he's changed and he's been a better person, but they don't seem to be listening. Here's the clip.
I just feel like at the end of the day, you can't hold something against someone if they're changing and becoming a better person, and
But how
understanding.
do we know you're changing, and how
Well,
do
you don't. None
to really believe?
Again, this is supposed to be a comedian, but she seems to be getting very, very triggered.
Believe you when you build your.
By the way, where is your hair? Two days ago, I watched the Breakfast Club interview, and you had a big locks. Where did it go? And that's all I'll say.
Your whole
I understand
platform
on being a liar.
Of course, and no one has to believe me. And at the end of the day, if you don't want to believe me, you don't have to believe me. But if you actually sit down and watch my streams and understand the growth, then you see it. And if you don't, it's fuck you.
growth.
It's like at the end of the day, I'm not here to prove anything to people. I can do it the best I can. People could judge me. I don't care.
The funny thing is, he's bigger than all of the people on the Breakfast Club combined. Like, what numbers does the Breakfast Club do? I can tell you his streams are absolutely insane. He's doing millions and millions and millions and millions of views in a day. People watch this guy just eat breakfast. People watch this guy just travel around in his day, just do normal things in his day. And he outstreams the Breakfast Club by far, by 10 times, 15, 20 times. Like the older generations don't really understand the power of all these streamers. The Aiden Rossies, the Kai Sanats, the iShowSpeeds, the Neons, back in the day, Gideon, like people like that. Even the ninjas, people like that, like they don't understand how big these people, these content creators really are. Like it is an art. As much as you don't want to recognize it, like this is all where it's going. You might not like it, but in next election cycle in 2028, in 2032, you're going to start to see these streamers, these content creators have presidential candidates on, right? Now, it might be a little bit longer than that because it took them a while to get on podcasts. But going forward, it's going to be podcast and it's going to be streamers. You're not going to have these debates. So I think all this older generation, they don't even realize that. But like that's where it's going. This podcast is eventually going to be a live stream. It won't be a podcast anymore. It will be a live stream because that is where it's going. So there's that. It's really frustrating too if you're a fan of Neon. I haven't followed him a lot, but I followed him enough to know that, I mean, this guy's huge. And what he's doing, yeah, he might not have been the best person in the past. I mean, who looks back on the past and doesn't have any regrets of what they said. But it is just so crazy. So here is the Breakfast Club now calling out Aiden Ross for essentially calling them out for belittling and disrespecting Neon on their stream. So this is Aiden Ross responding in the chat, and they're going back at him.
Wait, let's get into the chat, because Aiden Ross, there's a comment pinned in here. He just commented and said, Neon, I promise you they trying to belittle you and disrespect you. You shitting on all of them. They are weird as fuck.
True. They're all adults going after essentially a kid.
Fuck them.
Who is like 100 times bigger than them.
Talking about who?
In here. The chat is live in the Breakfast Club.
He's shitting on them.
Anyway,
What you
go
talking
ahead.
about?
That's what Aiden
Well,
Ross.
this is not Aiden Ross's interview, so fuck him too.
Wait, hold on.
I'm sorry, nobody knows who Jess Hilarious is. The only reason I know who Jess Hilarious is because I listen to the Breakfast Club a couple times a week. Aiden Ross is probably 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times bigger than this one particular comedian that nobody even knows from her comedy. They just know her because she happens to be the third person or fourth person on the Breakfast Club.
We're all friends, okay? I think
The comment is pinned in the chat.
She's just a mad black woman. That's what she happens to be. She's mad that this kid is oodles more successful than she will ever be.
I think
I'm in the chat with the W.
You feel like we trying to belittle you, Neon?
I think as we should all come together and all just spread.
Also saying we break
Man, fuck all that kumbaya shit. Fuck Aiden.
No, wait, all right, come on, that's my guy.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, Harriet Tubman, my aunt, nigga. You think I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck.
But you're comparing something now to like.
I'm not gonna lie, your chat is wild racist.
Yo, they right there. They like, yo, they
Fuck this black
race
bitch, monkey, watermelon, emoji.
I'm literally looking and I don't see any of that.
What? It says they race baiting. Cause fuck the short hair monkey. They race baiting. Fuck.
Oh,
the
it's moving too
Breakfast
fast.
Club.
Yeah, whoa. Motherfuckers was here, they wouldn't say it at all. That's another thing about,
that's
streaming
true.
and just being.
So you have all the cast on the Breakfast Club besides DJ Envy. They're reading the comments in the stream. And what these people do not get is that it is the internet. It is not real life. You are going to have slurs. You are going to have people say things that are disrespectful. You have to get over it. It's not real. You have to develop a thick skin, which is what the adults have been saying to us for a large amount of time. And now that we kind of got the message, and Gen Z is not known as a generation like the millennial generation that's soft, we're able to take jokes. In fact, our humor happens to be really funny and really dark. The whole slur thing, it's done. People don't get offended by slurs anymore. It's just not how it is. We grew up on the internet. We've seen the worst of the worst. We've been called the worst of the worst. And we have thick skin. And so look at all the adults now getting offended. And Aiden Ross is calling them all out.
You also have to understand this is the internet. This is not just my chat, my community, right?
It's almost like I just said that.
This is the internet. The internet, just like me back then, would say whatever they want.
Yeah.
So this isn't like a representation of me, obviously.
But it's funny though, because the reality is, I know this is a bunch of kids in here who don't know no better. But if we were really assholes, we wouldn't have had you up here. And as soon as I heard about the Kai Cenat thing, we'd have told you get the fuck on.
And so, once again, that was that. But then something really happened. So then at the end of Neon's interview with the Breakfast Club, they took a picture and none of them shook his hand. He tried to be cool with them. He tried to be cordial. He tried to be nice. And he instantly regretted going on the Breakfast Club. Look at his reaction to them dissing him.
All right.
But you need to definitely make that right with Kai.
Oh, for sure.
And Kai's mother.
For sure.
And the family of Harriet Tubman.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate it.
You need a video saying you're going to be on the show tomorrow. So he'll show you that.
It was nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You'll be all right. You'll be fine.
Neon, I'm going to grab a quick tune-in interview from you from this week.
Yep.
OVO Eli.
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Damn, they wouldn't even shake my hand, bro.
You hear him? He goes, they wouldn't even shake my hand, bro.
They didn't even shake my hand. None of them.
Poor guy. But the Breakfast Club, the Breakfast Club got a lot of backlash for this episode, and rightfully so. This is as of yesterday at 11:33, so 24 hours ago, okay? That Breakfast Club interview with Neon had 2.7K likes, and then it had 3.2K dislikes. So the ratio favored the dislikes over the likes. More people didn't like the video, which means the Breakfast Club obviously is getting the hate they deserve, and rightfully so. So at that time, it only had 97,000 views, but that was in 11 hours. It's going to continue to pile up, and we're going to continue to see how hateful they really were. Now, credit to the other girl. I forget her name on the Breakfast Club. Not just hilarious. We're not fans of her. But the other lady, she gave him a hug. She said, you did a good job. And I've listened to her before. She has a good heart. Let me look that up right now, actually, because I do forget her name. Her name is... I can't find her name, interestingly enough. But anyway, whatever her name was, she was very supportive to him. She gave him a hug, like I said, did a good job. Lauren LaRosa, she's a journalist, actually. She's not part of the radio host world, per se, but she is a journalist. And she's not one of the main hosts, but... very nice of her to do that, go out of her way. She was cordial to him the whole time, but it was mostly just hilarious and Charlemagne the God. And like I said, I haven't watched the whole interview, but I've seen the clips. Very disrespectful. And like I said, those adults couldn't take a joke. So they have to understand this is like just the internet. And it wasn't a good interview at all. It was really shitty interview. They just attacked him. So that's that. But folks, that's the end of the podcast. That's the end of the episode. We have 2 more podcasts this week, doing that 5-day in a row podcast streak, trying to get monetized. We're 250 watch hours away from getting monetized. And the window closes in early August, so like we gotta hurry up here. But folks, I just want to thank you so much for everything. Things are going very well. We appreciate you guys. We had our biggest clip ever, my Superman movie review. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. It's phenomenal. I put everything in a great point. It's just really well thought out here. But things are going really well at the channel. So I appreciate you. Thank you. Give the channel a sub, comment, a like, whatever the hell else you have to do to get the channel monetized so we could really start making good content for you. Eventually there will be some really funny skits. We're going to continue to do the podcasts, but it's been an honor making content for you. We got 2 more days this week where you will be getting episodes. Will they be shitty? Will they be great? That's kind of up to your interpretation, but they're going to come out. So appreciate you all. We'll see ya.